Okay, hey everybody. This is Grace, and I am outside sitting here making a video. Usually these days when I go somewhere, and I used to always make my videos while I was driving, doing errands and such, but these days, yeah, I don't go as much. Well, I go pretty much somewhere every day, but usually I have company. I don't like that. So, anyway, I wanted to do little updates about like health things going on. You know, it has been just too much, to tell you the truth, too much. And this right now, I just saw my cardiologist again yesterday, and he looks so young. He's a Doogie Howser kind of guy, you know. It seems like, because he's young. He has to be really young. But anyway, I'd had an echocardiogram, I guess, earlier. The results were in, and not earlier the same day, but the other day, earlier this week. And the results were in. And basically, it kind of bothered me because this, yeah, I don't have great luck with healthcare providers. I don't know, do other people? You know, they're so busy, they don't want to spend a little time explaining things, and I need explanation on what's going on. And then trying to deal with their staff, oh my gosh, you'd think that, you know, I was speaking some foreign language, or maybe from a different world. And I'm Texan, this is Texas. But I tell you, it was the first time I also got back what was from his nurse practitioner, and it was a message through the portal. And my friends, I'm sorry, but there are these things called punctuation marks, and professional people use them. Okay, she did not use them. It was just a sentence that went on and on and on and on and on, and then she finally put a period. Maybe she made a mistake. And then the next sentence, it was like, where was the beginning of that sentence? It was so unbelievable. But the whole staff trying to deal with them is just impossible. And I wind up having to call those. They have triage nurses I can call and talk to, and they are not from here. They're not from, I live north of Dallas, in suburb north of Dallas, in Collin County. Yeah, and it's like, if I have to call some other part of Texas for them to understand me, and that they get very upset with what happens up here. I can already tell you that. I can already tell that they get very upset with the way people are treated here. So it's not just me. It's just that the doctors, I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but my experience so far has pretty much been that they're in such a hurry to make more money, that one actually told me that he has other patients. And I had just walked into the room, and then he told me I could only answer in one word sentences. No, I fired him. Yeah. Well, that was kind of after he brought in some trainees, and I let him have it nicely. When he told me to forget anything any other healthcare provider has ever told me, and it was not the first time he said this. He said, just listen to him and pay attention to his words only. Nope. Yeah, I know what that means. I know what that means. So I nicely let him have it. You know, start off and said, I'm not going to just listen to what you say. I didn't even put that harshly. I just said, no, I learned from my experiences. You know, and then went on from there. But anyway, so this one, I don't know what I don't know what to think about this young guy. I mean, it doesn't really matter his age, except for, since I have a rare health condition, and generally it takes Most of them don't know about it. Most of the ones, the providers, do not know about it. So because of the way my experience has been with this and what I've heard from them, it basically takes somebody who's been around for a long while, you know, a doctor or a nurse practitioner. Well, nurse practitioners, I don't know how long they've been able to practice so long, but anyway, that somebody has been around for a while doing medical and has run across it. Okay, and from what I've heard from a provider, it was a doctor, they're only going to probably see one case of this. That would be me. One case in their whole lifetime. It was not in their career, it was their lifetime. Okay, my health condition is so rare. So do I need somebody who just started and had never heard about it before? No. And plus, the ones that I have experienced that are young, they do not respond correctly. I actually even nicely, very nicely told one, be careful, because that could fall under malpractice, what she said. She doubled down. Oh my gosh, I was like, the NIH, all they have to do is read what the NIH says, and it's my opinion how I see it. NIH is the word, from what I've understood. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. NIH. And they do not say that, what she said. It's like, oh my goodness. I've been doing this for longer than probably she's been around. She's been alive. She was so young. But she knows better than the NIH and all these specialists. Okay, goodness. You hear me losing my voice? It has been bad like this all day. I mean, it's all year. It's every year. Every day for me. Because I have allergies, and from what I understand, the pollen is really, really bad. That's what they said on WFAA, I think it was. One of them said how bad the pollen is right now. Well, when is it not bad anymore? It's always bad. Today was another just rainy, totally rainy day, and Adams was saying, you would think that the rain would wash it all away. It just seems like it stirs it up more. I could be wrong there, but yeah. And man, the air inside the house felt like so thick again and heavy. And I just checked the humidity again. It was 62 or 64. And earlier today, when I was having a problem too, it was 60. So, okay, but this problem that I'm having right here, like this coughing and this, I tell you, I don't know what to call it, because I used to be a smoker, and I have a clue, like, used to be a smoker. You get phlegm. Okay, I know what phlegm is. Like when I quit, and these kinds of things. And that's what I feel like I have, but it also feels like it's related to allergies. But it could be related to the health condition I'm seeing this cardiologist about. Oh my gosh, it's like, come on. I need somebody who's going to sit down and have a real conversation with me. Real conversation with the education, which is not sitting there, ready to jump to go to their next one because they have to fill a quota per day. That they actually take time and have, patience. Have patience with their patient. That's not going to soak everything in that they say, because they'll just go. You're like, wait, hold. What is? Wait. Because they're using this knowledge all day long. They studied it. We haven't. Their patients, how many have? And it's like, okay, I don't even understand what that means. And I was a career student at undergraduate and graduate school at the university. And I took a little bit of medical here and there. But no. Okay, I'm nowhere am I a voice of authority. In no way am I a voice of authority or a guru or any. But, I understand a little bit of the terminology, but still, you use that. You specialized in that, but I didn't. And I think that's a hard thing for some of them to realize. We're not going to catch everything they say. And it's not a problem with our memory. It's a problem with the way that they teach. You know, seriously. But seriously, it is. I mean, I taught at college and university, and what they were doing was wrong. What I've seen, you know, too much of is that they're too much in a hurry. They have another patient. They can only spend 2 minutes with you. Don't you know that? And that's to tell you what to do. If they're going to do this and that's that, and they're going to put you on this medication and that's that kind of attitude. Well, this guy, he'd already heard me once or twice before. One time was in person, and then because his office staff couldn't get it right, one of them says, well, if you're wanting to know the truth, the full thing, you need to make an appointment with him and talk to him directly. That sounded kind of funny to me. You know, what? I'm supposed to be able to leave him a message, but I'm not going to get the message to him correctly because what I'm supposed to do is make an appointment and come in. Or do it over the phone, which I wound up doing over video. That just sounds wrong, doesn't it? I'm very cynical because of these doctors. Very, very cynical because of the ones I've run across. You know, like I was reminding Adam of one of them I've seen, one of them I saw. And he, you have to see me waving my hand across, like, forget everything you say, like as though they're pushing, as though he was pushing aside everything else I had said. He said, what did you say? You said you have insurance? He was pointing like at an insurance card in my hand. And it was so pathetic. All he was concerned about was that I had an insurance, that I have health insurance. He was probably going, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You know, they made, I mean, I am not this cynical, but my experience over and over and over and over for decades, yeah, has kind of told me, don't trust. That's sad, because like this one, he told me he wants to, that it could, what's going on with me, you know, the results from the echo, it could be many things. It could be nothing. It could just be a little thing. But he wants to rule stuff out. Well, it's funny that the stuff that they rule out is, I mean, my insurance pays so much. I mean, it's not even some, it pays a really good amount, almost 100%. That's the way I see it. I might have $5 here and $20 here I have to pay, or there. Nothing. I mean, nothing. It's like, wow. So I'm not worried about that. But it's just the fact that they want to do the toughest things that might lead to surgery, or, you know, the worst case scenario, instead of figuring out, you know, could it be one of these other ones that he talked about, you know, that he didn't name them. He just said it could be something as easy as this, or something. You know, he really didn't say what this or that or the other is. But he jumped to the one that could involve surgery at the end. It could involve this kind of surgery or that kind of surgery. And that one of his friends and colleague, he's a friend and a colleague of his, would be the one doing it. You know what I'm saying? I see why I get cynical. I mean, really, wouldn't you be a little bit, you know, thinking they're only thinking about their own, you know, how much money they're going to make off of it, and then they're going to get their friend involved, and their friend's going to get a kickback, or do they get a kickback? Or, I mean, why would a person not think that? Because he had this big smile on his face that his friend could do it, you know? I don't know. Okay, I had to run inside the house. Yeah. And, oh boy. And, yeah, that's a good time to say this. I'm often out of breath again. Okay, so much for that. But, yeah, I'm often out of breath. Like, just from walking here, went inside the house, had to go around, go to the other room, the other side of the house, and come back. I'm not as much out of breath as I was earlier today. I was talking about the humidity was 60 when I checked it. See, I have a gauge, I guess you call it. It'll tell the humidity percentage and the temperature. And Adam had it in the garage, and I guess he brought it back today, and he put it on a countertop where it doesn't belong, but and I just ran across it that time when I checked. I thought it was 60, and I just checked it again. It said 63 this time as I was coming back out, but earlier was, what was it, 64? But apparently that's bad. It's supposed to be between, what I read online, who knows if it's true or what, but it said between 30 and 50%. And anything else could cause this or could cause that problem. But whatever it is, the house always feels, and it's not the whole house, is what's weird, but it's the main part of the house, the living room, kitchen area. It always feels like the it's thick, that, you know, like it's just a big thick whatever. I mean, sometimes it has an odor, sometimes it doesn't. Adam is a chain smoker. I think that contributes because he sits in the living room. I'm certain it contributes, not I think, like as if it's just a possibility. No, it is. And it just feels so heavy. Really, like the air is so heavy. And it felt like that in the winter time too. So this is spring, and it's just too much for me now. Now one of the rooms I sit in, I leave the door shut, and it's fine. But that room has a full-size bed, TV. I did all that myself, and bookshelves and various other things. And it's kind of cramped because it was originally just an office. And anyway, but I made that my room for my TV, you know, me to do that. And I often fall asleep while I'm watching TV. Well, anyway, it doesn't have that thickness, that thick smell. I mean, it's not a smell. Some of it's a smell, an odor, but it's just heavy. And I read today thinking, yes, it has to, you know, deal with humidity, and it says it could, and gave reasons why. I'm not an expert. That's not I'm not a voice of authority on that either, so. But the inside of the house is just off too often, just as it was before. The first time I went to the ER and they diagnosed me with this heart failure, you know. That was the problem I was having too. The house, it was just too thick. It's too hard to breathe. So Adam has agreed, right, that he's not going to smoke inside the house anymore. He's agreed to that several times now. I can't even count how many times he's agreed to that. But then he'll turn around and start doing it again. And, because it's more comfortable for him. I don't care. It's not comfortable for me and the dogs, okay? So, but anyway, I mean, I have to, you know, just as before, I would have to get out of the house just to feel, you know, I say I can't breathe. Of course I can. But what I was saying about that room was this. I had fallen asleep. We went out and bought some groceries and did a few things, 2 different stores, and then came back. And I fell asleep because I get tired. Okay. And I fell asleep in that room. And just a little while ago, and I woke up, and the reason I woke up and got up was because I was gagging. I'm serious. I wasn't eating anything. I was asleep. And I started gagging and coughing, and it was like my throat was just closed. There's nothing in it. It just closed, and it wasn't opening. I wasn't breathing. But I started coughing, and that helped me to breathe again. I told him, he said, well, I'm not smoking in here. And, you know, he's older than I. But it's just so much. He said he was going to do something. Has to check the filters again. He said it was February whenever he last changed the filters. So, and for the AC units, AC and heat, I don't know what they call those, but the big units, we have one upstairs for upstairs too. Each floor has its own, and it's not old, so because on the what it said it could be an old one. I think it could be the vents, you know, because it's the house is over 20 years, around 25 years old, and it was new when we bought it. Nobody had ever lived in it, and I just think the vents haven't been cleaned out or any of that. Maybe that's what it needs to do, clean out the vents. I mean, the ducts, is that what they're called? Ducts and vents and whatever they're all called. You know, and have that done. So, anyway. But where was I with all this? It's kind of all over the place, but this is enough of an update. I'll talk to you on another video.